How important would you say that real talent was to an artist?
Initially, not very important. Although a lot of people in the business think the other way round. To my way of thinking, at the very beginning, it's the promotion people like ourselves, it's the record company, it's the amount of time, the money, the expense, and so on. And then the talent can come out later, when you've got to make good records, you've got to prove yourself on stage and so on. Initially, you don't go on stage very much. You're usually just shunted around from place to place, newspapers and so on. And most people can talk fairly well to newspapers anyway, after a bit of coaching. A lot of people think the other way and say that if you haven't got it in the first place, you're not going to make it. But I should say 40% of the people who happen on the pop business and stay around for 2 to 3 years have no talent at all.
Now, this is the full bit. They're going to groom you and make you a star.
They've done the grooming. They started on me at the beginning of January.
What do they do?
Well,
he wants to be a star.
They sent me to a beauty clinic and I had massage. I lost weight, and they bought me clothes.
You have to do modeling. Did you have to do a modeling course?
No. I went to the hairdressers and I had a makeup
yes,
done.
But how do they teach you? Do they teach you how to sing?
No, they didn't teach me how to sing.
Well, how can you be a pop star?
Well,
with just this, can you be a pop star?
Well, I've done some folk singing, I taught myself to play the guitar when I was at college.
Yes, but can you be a pop star without really having the basic ingredient of being able to sing?
But I can sing.
Can you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Well, this is why they chose me, I think. I hope.
To get to the top in the pop business, you need more than sex appeal and a song to sing, or so the people in the business would have us believe. If you're a nobody like Judith Powell, you need a string of professionals to get you going and to share the profits when you get there. You need first a manager, possibly two. This is Interpop International. Joint directors Kay Isbell, 29, Sylvia Meadows, 25.
Everybody dislikes the manager. The agents dislike the manager. The artist, sooner or later, comes down on you like a ton of bricks.
People in the business.
It's the most difficult position to be in.
Why?
Because you are responsible. Nobody will get at an artist. The artist is always, the nice person. The management is always responsible.
And you need a publicist. David Cardwell, 24.
If you want to look at very cold and very hard, it's rather like selling a can of beans, except it's a more glamorous business to do in it.
A person to sell. A person like Judith Powell, at 21, already old for the pop rat race. A beginner who's tried hard enough and long enough to have few illusions about it.
Well, I'm trying to prepare myself for it. I'm a little bit dubious about the sort of people I shall be meeting. I think a lot of very hard and tough people in the pop world. And I think one's got to be that way oneself, really, because there's so many people fighting for the top. But I suppose it is a big fight.
And any extra money so expended shall be at the artist's own expense, and the manager shall be at liberty to deduct from monies held or received on behalf of the artist the amount of any such extra money so expended, but the manager shall consult with the artist before incurring unusually expensive obligations. In effect,
That's longer.
this is what it means.
Before anybody will do anything to make her a star, Judith, with her father's endorsement, must sign away what amounts to almost half of anything she's likely to earn.
We're going out on a gig, and it's convenient for us to pay the hotel, then we pay it, obviously, and deduct it from the £75.
Well, the operative things, at least 2 and 2, 2 years plus 2, and the 25%, but you've got to pay all your beautifying and gowns and what have you out of your own 75%. Which is chargeable against tax.
But this is when I become capable of earning enough money to pay this myself.
Yeah. You have to make sure you don't spend more than you earn, that's all.
Yeah. Judith, can you give me your full name? J-U-D-I-T-H.
Powell. Just Judith
P-O-W.
E-double-L.
It will be a very short delay.
And if we get Mr. Powell to sign underneath, there's a power of the bottom. You'll get our countersigned copies in 7 days, and we'll get the fully fledged contract within 7 or 8 days. Yes, please, keep that going. I've got a mustache.
All right. Yeah. Thanks very much indeed for coming up.
You pay me for it.
We know.
All right.
We'll be talking to the office anyway.
Okay. I'll give you a buzz tomorrow.
Yeah. got a meeting tomorrow as well.
Oh, yeah.
At your office, 2:15.
All right. You must phone my secretary in the morning to remind me, otherwise, Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Powell. Bye, Judy.
Thank you for explaining.
We'll see each other soon. Bye.
Bye.
Signed, sealed and delivered on a 2-year contract, Judith, though she may not know it yet, is already a cog in the pop machine. From now on, as the publicist and the record producer move in, her fortunes are quite literally bound up with theirs. But they have a good line in smooth showbiz talk to give the financial pill a sugar coating.
Shall you pull up?
Oh, you know, it's the usual grind. David, excuse me. No, I suppose to you, Sylvia.
You've got an idea for a song, haven't you, Steve? Or you've got something in mind?
Yeah, I have a fantastic song.
I've heard it, actually. I've heard one of them.
Fantastic.
Do you want me to have a demo?
I don't at the moment. I'm sorry, I'll bring it up. But it's perfect for her because beside the voice being very prominent in the song, and beside the lyrics being sensational, there's a very strong guitar line, and with Judith singing, being able to play guitar like she does, I think it's good. You will, by the time the record's finished. I think you'll like it, Judith. I really do.
Yeah,
Sylvia and I have bent our ears,
It's very
listening
good.
to it.
Very, very good. Yeah. It's a fabulous song.
But it's written especially for me.
Funny enough, it was written by a friend of mine, and I used to work with this fellow, and never did I think that I would have Judith do this song.
As I write this letter, I hope you're feeling better than I am as I sit here, fighting back a tear, 'cause my mind keeps shifting. Back in time it's drifting to the days when you were near.
Honey, you love me. But you're never going to sell records by being that beautiful. Look, Gary, give me a bit of it, would you? Try to do it this way, will you? As I write this letter, tell me the story. I hope you're feeling better than I am as I sit here, fighting back a tear, 'cause my mind, tell me the story. You're a girl that's been jilted. Now tell me the story.
Okay.
Well, this is
Nice
fantastic.
line for publicity, David. It's great.
What do you think, David, about all this?
I don't know, I think she looks too nice in the photographs.
Well, remember, the image is going to be changed. And not that we're not going to make you, you know. The hair will be changed slightly, makeup, etc. We thought sort of wild silk trouser suits and pretty short shifts and things like that. Obviously long dresses for cabaret or something. And makeup changed and losing weight.
We've got to work on a very good act for you.
You're not, you've got a very good figure, but you're a little bit...
We've got this marvellous face for you.
I'm not looking at you as a girl, you know, as a girl,
Not the
you know,
poor
great.
starving
I'm in
image.
between two things.
But really, you're a product, you know, you're a can of beans or something. You know.
Yes, first things first. Well, you've got to lose about half a stone to a stone.
Yes.
So we'll take you down to this lovely little place with this marvellous woman, and you just sit in a steam cabinet and it just all rolls off, you know. And she's fabulous.
We hope.
And also as far as your makeup is concerned as well, certainly your eye makeup will have to be changed because that's not going to televise well, it's not going to photograph well. Hair has got to be changed as well, and clothes too. And then we've got you groomed. We've created an image and we take it from there.
So from tomorrow?
From tomorrow we start.
It's a fantastic feeling, this.
In, out and in. 5 minutes of this exercise to begin with will help you to keep a nice firm bust. How do you feel, Judith?
Fine, lovely, yes, terrific.
I'm going to play on that little cushion of fat there. It's a little thickness you have in the upper portion of your leg.
Oh, Judith.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Isn't that lovely?
Oh,
Now, this is beautiful.
The lovely
Oh.
Shall I take the coat off? Absolutely terrific. That really is. Because this is the sort of thing that you'll wear for cabaret days.
Oh,
it's
no,
not,
this is a cabaret
yes.
dress.
Lovely and clinging. Can you imagine? You come out and you start off with the first number,
beautiful.
and then you take it from there and take the coat off gradually.
What a
Oh,
fit.
it's fabulous.
It is fantastic.
Absolutely terrific. You've lost a lot of weight.
This
An
is
awful lot of weight.
beautiful.
Nice.
Lovely.
Nice.
It's
a
shame
lovely
what
size,
size
isn't
is
it?
this?
It's a 12.
12.
Nice.
It'd be perfect with boots.
Yes. It needs boots.
Needs a little Cuban heel.
Perhaps those little, the Spanish type boots with the Cuban heels, the little black ones.
That's lovely, isn't it? There's a button missing.
Now, this is what we want, because we've got pop shows to consider, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Because so far we've created very much the cabaret image.
This prettiness and yes, I like this.
Up at the top.
I like
all
this.
the frills. Some simple
Lovely.
little
Yes, definitely
hairstyle.
up.
Yes.
Or ovals. Yes, definitely up.
My hair never stays in curls very long. You know, I never set it properly myself because I can't. You know, it just doesn't ever take really.
Yes.
The only thing that's ever kept my hair in is an electric curling tongs. But I've tried using. Well, I've only used large rollers actually.
Yeah.
And it comes out nicely, and then it sort of flops after a while.
Hold it. Fine. Now look up, Judith, because when you look down towards me... No, too right. Just your eyes. That's it, there. Fine. Stay in the same position.
Same position down like that.
Turn your head just a fraction more. Up. And turn your head around a bit. Good. Put your arm there.
Should I keep my leg in the same position?
Yeah, this is fabulous. Good. Open your eyes, Judith. You'll have to cheat. That's it. Good. And you'll have to lean over a fraction more. That's it. Good. Keep still.
I better close and sign my name. It's getting late. But don't forget our chance to twist the hands of fate. So the greener days will return. Deeper they'll grow with every spring rain of love. Rainbows will shine. You will be mine. And our days of green will never turn to grey. They'll never fade away. They'll never turn to grey.
I better close and sign my name. It's getting late. But don't forget our chance to twist the hands of fate, and those are greener, because you're hoping that maybe, you see, it'll happen again, and you caught yourself in it. That's what it means. And it's,
Do you want me to try and cut off the phrases a little more? Separate them?
honey, you can do them elongated, anything at all. It's not cutting it off or...
Just getting the feel of the
it's-
words.
You could hold that. You could say, these notes that you hold, are turning into, you go, are turning into gray. You hold it like that. Now you can get this feeling, are turning into gray. Or you can say, are turning into gray. It's a feeling. It has to come from here. I know what it is. I know what it is. Bling, bling, bling. Ba-do, ba-do-do. It's dum, dum, dum. Da dum, da dum, dum. It's the second one is a rush to shade. That's it, that's it. Blum, blum, blum. Ba-do, ba-do-do.
Make the first one short.
And do, 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 do. There it is. There it is.
Make this.
I had to round it out a bit.
Are we sure
Should be borrowing your pen for a moment.
Thanks, there. After you, gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay.
Take 6.
Right. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As I write this letter, I hope you're feeling better than I am as I sit here, fighting back a tear, 'cause my mind keeps shifting. Back in time it's drifting to the days when you were near. Those are greener days where it's hot, deep in the ground, with the big spring rain of love. Rainbows will shine, you will be mine, a in the breeze. They'll never turn to gray, they'll never fade away, they'll never turn to gray.
This girl sounds like she hasn't lived at all.
Right.
And she's singing a story that a girl that has lived sings. Now, what do you think? Don't you agree?
Unemotional,
I mean, it's just blah, 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 blah. It could be reading the A to Z, you know.
Right.
And this has got to change or else the record will die. And I'm never sure something's going to be a hit. If you were sure, we could, retire and say that's going to be a hit or whatever. What do you think?
But
From
can
your
you
point.
explain to somebody, though, Steve, can you explain feeling?
You cannot. You can explain feeling, yes, but you can't make them feel. The only way I can make you feel is I can say, but you're this, you're this, you're this. And if I haul off and hit you across the face, that hurts. You feel it. But if I tell you, feel how it is when you're hit across the face, you can say, well, I think it's this way. Unless you've experienced it, you can't. So I'm going to have to try to make her feel that she is feeling. And that will get
But do you
what I
think
want.
the point of sort of building an artist up, in other words, saying you are great and you can do it, is right in this case? In other words, to sort of bring her down might get something.
If you're going to make them come out with something, you've got to make them believe that they're coming out with it. You can't tell them how to do it. You've got to try to show them how they should get it and try to bring them up to that point. You can't tell them what to do.
What
They'll
we feel
rebel.
with Judith is that she's too sure of herself, that she's too
not.
happy with it.
She's not. That's an act. I guarantee you.
I don't think so. I agree with Kay. I don't think it is an act.
She certainly appears to be very
She's
complacent.
she's very happy about it. She's very easily satisfied, as you said.
Well, this girl is great, she's fabulous, Doug. She really is, yeah. She's got long blonde hair and gorgeous eyes. She's very, very tall. Okay, fine. Right. 3 o'clock Thursday. Now, look, I'll send you all the information about her. We've got a bio and pictures. She's got some fabulous pictures, actually. Yeah. Hey, listen, also, can you suggest her to your Radio Luxembourg DJs and things? Plug her around?
For Cardwell's team, plugging is the real art, whether the record's good or bad.
She wants really to wear more miniskirt things and jumpers rather than
Yeah, well, she's a
wearing-
bit fat for all that.
Yeah.
Well, she is. She's a bit hefty to go prancing around in the fields and all that rubbish. Sheena, what about the Luxembourg people and all these sort of people?
Oh, they're interviewing her, doing the whole thing there. Again, she's going down to the Ready Steady Radio, etc. They're all very interested in her. And it's getting full plants.
Very sort of sexy, husky voice. It'll come over beautifully on the radio ships.
Yeah, the sex bit she doesn't like, unfortunately. This is a problem. I'd like to split her publicity, actually, in about 3 different ways. On the Nationals, if I was you, I'd play up the sex angle a bit.
Yeah.
I know we'll make it anyway with pictures because she's good looking, but I think if we can push the Nationals as the sex angle, Anita can push the raves and the fabulouses as the sort of kinky girl next door who's happened to have made it, and I could have made it the same, and so on, and get her doing some of these fashion pages where, you know, you can buy, where they list how much the clothes cost and all this sort of rubbish, and get her buying cheap clothes so the kids feel they can go out and buy it too, you know.
She did fairly well the other day. She had a short interview with one of the provincial papers who wanted to do something quickly on her. She seemed to handle that fairly well. But then, I must admit, that was more the sort of fan stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than the national type, where you need a good story.
Yeah, I don't want her to feel that she's, you know, she's at the moment she's getting all this fan bit and everybody's being so nice to her. She's got very blasé about it all. As soon as she does get somebody who chops her down in the newspaper article, she's going to end up doing a hysterical bit and won't want to talk to anybody, you know, again.
Yes,
She's not.
We can't decide that.
No, we can
until
smooth
it
her out
actually
later on
happens.
as it goes, you know. But you've got to prepare her for this. But at the moment, she's so nice and so negative that if we don't give her, you know, it doesn't matter what we tell people on the phone as long as she doesn't know about it. But you know, we don't want her to go along there and say, no, I don't believe in free love or something like that after we've told them, you know.
What happens if you give the big treatment to an artist and then the artist turns out to be no good?
We lose money.
Do you also lose trust?
We lose trust from the artist, and we lose trust in the business, obviously, because, you know, people say to us, well, you know, you pushed them so hard, we did as much as we could for you, we put her in the papers, she just hasn't happened, and we lose more respect. Luckily, we've been very lucky so far. We pushed, I think, 60% of the artists we've pushed have done very well indeed. The other 40% have been, 20% of them have been disastrous flops, and the other 20 average, and haven't really made it.
Quite honestly, how much does it matter that you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Nobody in show business, I think, ever tells the whole truth. It's an impossibility to go around saying that this girl is fantastic simply because she happens to have made a record. You know, you can't just go around and say we've got the girl of 67 because she happens to have made a record and that's it. We must go out and build her up to some extent. You must flannel people to some extent. Tell them that she's more fantastic than the last girl that was launched in 66 because she's got something extra. Whether there's something, she's actually got the something extra doesn't really matter, you know, as long as we get the publicity. Of course, the worst thing is once she flops, then if she flops, then we lose respect. So we have to really push. We're losing as much as she is every time.
What sort of thing do I have to expect at this press reception? The things people will ask me, you know, what sort of things will they be asking?
Well, you're going to get three kinds of people. You're going to get the nice, really nice national newspaper women writers and national newspaper, and magazine writers who are women, who are all very nice to girls for some unknown reason. They're usually very catty afterwards, but they always write nice features and they're terribly good about everything. And then you come back to the worst two, which are the sort of national newspaper male writers who will either ask you to sleep with them because they'll guarantee you the front page or something, or, you know, or else you're going to end up with the usual invitation to retire to the local national newspaper casting couch. And believe me, they've got some. Every man, when he goes to reception and has a few drinks, feels like any man does after he's had a few drinks in the local pub. The barmaid looks at him more than he looks at her, and, you know, he thinks he's it. And the same thing applies. You don't want to get them so that they're...
They feel out of it.
Yeah, you know, they want to feel that, you know, that even though they're 50 and they've got a paunch and the whole bit, they still could take you out if they wanted to, just by merely asking you, and you'd sort of fall at their feet. And this is what you know, you must give over to them. They're so nice, and it's not only the reception, that you like them anyway, because it's such a nice person. And at the end of it, you know, don't sort of walk out on any... If anybody wants one little note or, you know, wants to add a bit about your name or anything, you must give them everything you've got.
When David Cardwell said, look, we'll get hold of Freeman and take you out to lunch, and take him out to lunch, and all that sort of thing, were you sort of worried about meeting me?
Well, I hoped that I'd go down well, you know, obviously. But I was worried. I was worried that of what opinion you'd form, obviously, because I don't want to give a bad impression.
Because I'm wondering, you know, if you, as a person, looks upon people like myself as being rather sort of very much away, you know, and not quite human beings.
I do find.
Why is this? Why do you feel that disc jockeys and people like this are not real people, human people?
Because I've only ever seen you and people like yourself on the television, I heard you on the radio, and you're, to me, actually, a disc jockey is bigger than the actual recording artist, because they're the ones who go on indefinitely. They say what they feel about it, and they're the ones that play the records. So what they think, it means a great deal, obviously.
Well, I sort of hope that you've enjoyed the lunch.
I have very much.
Because it's been great fun, you know. I've enjoyed it, and it's very interesting from my point of view to meet a new artist, to see how they feel. I'm very anxious to hear the first record I might have. I'm wondering if by chance it got on the jukebox jury, for instance, and perhaps your great publicist, Mr. David Cardwell, here could arrange you to be sitting in the hot seat. How would you feel, do you think, if you had 4 disc jockeys sitting on the panel, absolutely mercilessly beating this record into the ground?
It's too good
But
a record for that.
my first impression would be
Well,
of
of course,
fury.
pardon me, yes, you say it's too good a record, but of course, as a publicist, you're going to tell this to everybody.
I'm biased, yeah.
Huh? But
Yes.
getting back to you,
I
John.
think it's a good record. If it wasn't a good record, I wouldn't be so happy about singing it.
Don't you find that generally people are reluctant to do something for nothing, though?
I think there are people who feel that they can't get on unless they please somebody. And I think there are so many powerful men in the business who think that because they are powerful and they can offer people things, that they'll expect a lot in return. And I think a lot of girls will do this, but I think also there are a percentage who won't. I don't think everybody does. I certainly don't believe that several of the top artists nowadays have got there because they've slept around. I think they've got their talent. I'm sure of this.
How tough a world do you think the pop world is?
I think it's very tough. I think it must be one of the toughest. I think all the entertainment business is tough. Because there's so many people want to do it. There's so many people who have got talent and looks and all the things that go to become a successful star. And they all want to try. And if you fail in one thing, if one fails in one thing, then there's always somebody else to replace you. So therefore it's a big fight to stay or climb to the top and stay there, I think.
Assuming that you're not going to sleep around, why do you think people will be prepared to help you at all?
Because I can sing. I hope so, anyway.
So what's that to them?
Well, I'm a commercial proposition, I think. I think if somebody is interested in making money out of money I can make, then I think that is a commercial proposition. It's a financial gain, really, if I am successful. Therefore, it is in the interest of the person who's promoting me to make me successful.
I think you'd like to get a look at Judith. Judith, come on up here. Judith Powell.
I'll stand here, Steve.
You stand
Steve.
right there.
Right. You're going to
Now, nobody can say for sure what's going to be a hit record. If we all knew what was going to be a hit record, we wouldn't have to worry. All we'd have to do is just say, well, that's going to be a hit record, put all your money on it, and it would make it. All we can do is hope. But most important, luck plays a big factor. And after luck, it's if the public take to Judith. Let's hope that everybody takes to Judith like I have.
Thank you, Steve.
Before I go, I think it would be appropriate if we heard the record Greener Days by Judith Powell.
Are you going to play it now? As I write this letter, I hope you're feeling better.